Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 9 and today we will be presenting the first technique, which is decision analysis.
Surah Al-Imran verse 159 highlights the importance of consultation in decision making. By seeking advice and considering different viewpoints, we can make more informed and effective decisions. After carefully evaluating the options and making a choice, we should place our trust in Allah and confidently move forward.
Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. For our Quranic perspective on decision analysis, we selected Surah Al-Imran ayat verse 159, which is Allah says, "So, pardon them, ask forgiveness for them and consult them in matters. Then, when you have made a decision, put your trust in Allah. Indeed, Allah loves those who rely upon Him." This verse highlights the importance of making decisions through consultation, careful consideration, and trust in Allah after making the best possible choice. The first connection to decision analysis is consulting others, which is in decision analysis, we begin by gathering information and data before making any decision. Similarly, this verse encourages consultation before taking action. And the second connection that we can see is considering different views, which is decision analysis requires us to evaluate different alternatives and compare all their possible outcomes. Also, rather than making assumptions, we should analyze available options systematically. And the third connection that we can see to decision analysis is making a decision. After evaluating all the alternatives that we have, we select the best option that provides the best expected outcome. This is similar to the phrase when you have made a decision in the verse. And lastly, the final connection is to trust Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. Even after careful analysis, uncertainty still exists. So, decision analysis helps us to make the best decision based on the available information, but future outcomes cannot be guaranteed. Therefore, after making an informed decision, we place our trust in Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. In our project, we evaluated three alternatives, which is our study, student attendance, and parental involvement using the analysis techniques such as expected value, minimum regret, and EVPI and EOL, which we compared these alternatives and identified the most effective strategy for improving students' exam performance. Therefore, this verse strongly supports the underlying concept of decision analysis, which is gathering information, evaluating alternatives, making informed decisions, and responsibly managing uncertainty. That's all from me. Thank you.
Before making any decisions, a person needs to gather information and seek opinions from others. This includes parents, teachers, and friends who can provide valuable advice and different perspectives. It helps ensure the decisions is more accurate and also balanced. After getting information, all available options are carefully compared. Each choice is evaluated based on its advantage, disadvantage, cost, and opportunity. This process helps identify the option is more suitable before making any final decision. Once all alternatives have been analyzed, a final decision is made. The best option is selected based on logical thinking and careful considerations of all factors. This step ensures that the decision is rational and well justified. Next, after making decisions, a person should place their trust in Allah. Even though careful planning has been done, the future is uncertain. Therefore, tawakal is important as it brings peace of mind and reliance on Allah's wisdom. And, for example, a student chooses a university course by seeking advice, comparing different options, selecting the best options, and finally trusting Allah with outcome.
For our second technique, we selected linear programming. Linear programming is a mathematical technique used to determine the best solution when resources are limited and certain conditions must be satisfied. To relate this technique to Islamic teachings, we selected a Quranic verse from Surah Al-Furqan, verse 67. A'udzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. وَالَّذِينَ إِذَا أَنفَقُوا لَمْ يُسْرِفُوا وَلَمْ يَقْتُرُوا وَكَانَ بَيْنَ ذَلِكَ قَوَامًا, which translates to, and those who, when they spend, are neither extravagant nor stingy, but are ever between that, moderate. There are several important messages that can be derived from this verse. First is moderation, which encourages individuals to avoid extremes in their actions. Second, the verse reminds us to avoid excessive behavior, whether in spending, using resources, or managing our daily activities. Third, it promotes wise resource management, where available resources should be used efficiently and responsibly. Finally, the verse highlights the importance of balance, ensuring that different responsibilities are fulfilled without neglecting any important aspect of life. These values are closely related to the principles of linear programming. Just as Islam encourages moderation and balance in managing resources, linear programming helps individuals allocate limited resources effectively while ensuring that all requirements are met. At the same time, decisions must satisfy constraints, meaning that certain limitations or conditions cannot be ignored when determining the best solution. The main concepts of linear programming include objective functions, constraints, optimization, and resource allocation. The objective function represents the goal that we want to achieve. Constraints are the limitations that must be followed. Optimization refers to finding the best possible solution among all available alternatives. Finally, resource allocation focuses on distributing limited resources efficiently in order to achieve the desired objective. These concepts reflect the values of moderation, balance, and wise management emphasized in the Quranic verse. Therefore, Surah Al-Furqan verse 67 supports the underlying concepts of linear programming by encouraging balanced decision-making and the efficient use of resources. My partner will now explain this relationship further through an illustration and practical example.
How the verse supports underlying concept of linear programming. This Quranic verse strongly relates to the concept of linear programming because the verse teaches Muslims to practice moderation and balance in managing resources. Allah mentioned that believers should not be excessive and should not be too limited, but instead choose a balanced approach. Similarly, linear programming focuses on finding the optimal solution by using limited resources efficiently under certain constraints. In our project, time is considered a limited resource because students only have 24 hours in one day. Therefore, students must divide their time properly between studying, sleeping, and extracurricular activities. If students spend too much time studying, they may become exhausted or burn out. However, if students spend too much time on extracurricular activities, their academic performance may also decrease. Therefore, linear programming helps students find a balanced time allocation that can maximize academic performance while maintaining a healthy lifestyle. This concept clearly reflects the teaching in the Quranic verse, which encourages moderation and balance in daily life. As an illustration of our linear programming model, this graph shows the feasible region formed by the given constraint. The blue horizontal line represents the constraint x2 less than or equal to 3. This means students should limit extracurricular activities to a maximum of 3 hours daily. The red vertical line represents x1 less than or equal to 5. This indicates that students can only handle approximately 5 study hours daily before feeling exhausted or burnt out. Meanwhile, the slanted line represents x1 plus x2 less than or equal to 18. This constraint shows that students only have 18 remaining hours available after allocating at least 6 hours for sleep daily. The shaded region represents the feasible region, which contains all possible combinations that satisfy all the constraints at the same time. Next, we evaluate the corner points, which are 0, 0, 5, 0, 5, 3, and 0, 3, using the objective function z equal to x1 plus x2. The highest value obtained is z equals to 8 at 0.53. This means the optimal solution is 5 study hours and 3 extracurricular activity hours daily while maintaining enough sleep. Therefore, this balanced allocation reflects the concept of moderation mentioned in Surah Al-Furqan, where Muslims are encouraged to avoid excessiveness and maintain balance in daily life.